Jennifer Kesse had it all. At only 24 years old, Jennifer had a lucrative job, a loving boyfriend, numerous friends, and she had just purchased her first home. Life seemingly couldn't get any better. But on the morning of January 24th, 2006, Jennifer never shows up for work. Her car would eventually be found abandoned about a mile from her home, and security camera footage would record a mysterious man parking and exiting the vehicle. Who is this person, and where is Jennifer Kesse? This is True Crime Stories: The Disappearance of Jennifer Kesse. Jennifer Kesse was born on May 20th, 1981 in New Jersey. Jennifer's parents, Drew and Joyce, would eventually relocate to Tampa, Florida, where Jennifer spent the large majority of her life. Jennifer would attend and eventually graduate from Gaither High School in the mid-90s. Following high school, she would enroll at the University of Central Florida, where she would study finance, graduating with honors in 2003. Jennifer was dedicated, smart, and hardworking. These traits, in conjunction with her college studies, would help Jennifer land a job as a finance manager for Central Florida Investments timeshare company. Jennifer loved her job and proved to be quite the asset to the company. It wouldn't be long before Jennifer's hard work was rewarded with numerous promotions. These promotions, in turn, helped Jennifer invest in her very own place. At only 24 years old, Jennifer was able to purchase a condo at Mosaic at Millenia Condos in Orlando, Florida. From all reports, Jennifer chose this condo due to it being located within a gated community with security. Jennifer was said to be very aware of her surroundings and overall safety, so when she purchased this condo, she felt confident she was making a good decision. She had no idea that this choice would come back to inevitably haunt her. With a little backstory now out of the way, we will jump ahead to January of 2006. Jennifer and her boyfriend of over a year, Rob Ellen, took a trip together to St. Croix. From all reports, the pair had an amazing time together, relaxing and enjoying the beautiful sun and sand of the Caribbean. Following their little vacation together, the pair returned to Florida on Sunday, January 22nd. Jennifer would spend the night at Rob's place in Fort Lauderdale, around 3 hours southeast of Orlando, where Jennifer currently resided. The following morning, Monday, January 23rd, Jennifer would make her way into work. From all reports, the day would go about as normal as can be. Soon, 6 p.m. rolled around, and Jennifer began making her way home. It's around this time that Jennifer would call her parents. Jennifer was still on cloud nine from her trip to the Caribbean and couldn't wait to share all the details with her mother. Jennifer would eventually arrive home and settle in for the night, and at around 10 p.m., Jennifer would call her boyfriend Rob. The pair would talk for a bit, with the conversation taking a turn for the worst. From what Rob has said, the long-distance nature of their relationship was taking a toll on the both of them. The vacation they had just gone on was much needed, but at the same time, Jennifer was unhappy with their long-distance situation. The pair living 3 hours apart made it hard for them to see each other outside of the weekends. The call would soon reach its conclusion, and Jennifer would get ready for bed. For Rob, this final phone call would end up haunting him, as he had no idea that this was the last time he would ever hear Jennifer's voice again. The following morning, January 24th, 2006, at around 8 a.m., Rob calls Jennifer. The phone rings, but she never picks up, and it goes to voicemail. This was uncharacteristic for Jennifer, as she usually spoke to Rob on her way to work every morning. Rob would try calling a few more times, but he was unable to reach her. As the morning progressed, Jennifer never shows up at work. Those that work with Jennifer immediately become concerned. After trying Jennifer's cell phone numerous times, they immediately phone Jennifer's parents. Drew and Joyce are immediately concerned about their daughter. It's unlike her to not be reachable. They continue to call her cell phone, but Jennifer isn't answering. Not knowing what else to do, Jennifer's parents climb into their car and start making the trip from Tampa to Orlando, Florida. On their way, they reach out to Rob, who also expressed concern, as he too had not heard from Jennifer all morning. At around 3 p.m. that afternoon, Jennifer's parents arrive at her condo. From first glance, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. The condo is clean and tidy, and nothing is out of place. From what her parents have stated, it looked like Jennifer got back from her trip, dropped her bag, and went to work. As Jennifer's apartment is being looked over, it was found that her bathroom appeared to have been used that morning. There was makeup out on the counter, along with a curling iron, wet towels, and a wet shower. All signs indicating that Jennifer had gotten up that morning, showered, gotten ready for work, and had all intentions of going to work. Jennifer's keys, purse, and cell phone were all missing from her condo. Her car was also nowhere to be found. Everything at the scene pointed to Jennifer getting up that morning, getting ready, and heading to work. But as we know, Jennifer never made it to work. So what in the world happened to Jennifer Kesse? With no sign of Jennifer to be found, Jennifer's family went straight to the police department. But as we see, with far too many cases, the police weren't overly cooperative right off the bat. Jennifer was a grown adult who had the right to disappear after all. And to be honest, every time I hear that the police are hesitant to start a missing persons search, my blood boils a little bit more. Those early hours in any case are crucial, and far too often the search for someone is delayed for far too long. Luckily, the Kesse family don't give up easily. They continued to push the police, and by around 7 p.m. that evening, a detective from the police department is finally sent out to start an investigation. In the beginning, the police pursued a theory that Jennifer went missing the night before. When they first analyzed the cell phone data, they were certain that Jennifer had been out and about overnight. And this theory was disputed by Jennifer's parents, who were adamant that their daughter would not have gone out that late when she had work the next morning. Eventually, the police would determine that their initial analysis of the phone data was incorrect. Jennifer's phone did indeed place her inside her apartment the night of January 23rd. As detectives continued their investigation, Jennifer's friends and family would dedicate those first few days posting flyers and bringing as much attention as they could to Jennifer's case. They knew how important those first 48 hours truly are. In the end, the family did an unbelievable job of getting Jennifer's name and face out into the public. Everywhere you went, you'd find numerous posters with Jennifer's face on them. The community at large would soon pitch in, as numerous volunteers helped comb the area around her apartment and beyond. You could say that the community really showed up and came together for Jennifer Kesse. As police and volunteers continued their efforts, a massive discovery would be made on day 2 of the search. Jennifer Kesse's car had been located around a mile away from Jennifer's condo in an area that Jennifer was not known to frequent. This area was also notorious for being a spot where stolen cars would be dumped. When the car was first found, everyone's worst fear was that Jennifer would be found dead in the trunk. When the police finally popped open the trunk, it was found to be completely empty. Jennifer was still out there, and now it was time for the police to analyze the car and see what evidence may have been left behind. Now, early on in the case, there was a reported tip that someone thought they saw Jennifer's car driving around erratically around the time of her disappearance. And this led to the theory that Jennifer may have been in some sort of a struggle within her vehicle. But as police analyzed the car, they found no evidence that a struggle ever took place. The car seemed in order, with no signs of foul play. Inside, they found her cell phone charger, a pair of sandals, and a pair of shoes. Nothing else was found within the vehicle, which ultimately led to more questions than answers. As police continued to look for clues, it wouldn't be long before another massive discovery was made. This discovery appeared, at first, to be the smoking gun that would blow this case wide open. There was video evidence recovered of someone driving and parking Jennifer's car at around noon on the day she went missing. We will take a look at the video now and discuss further.
This is the camera that caught the person that parked Jennifer's vehicle here. Apparently this video, when it films, captures every 2 to 3 seconds as it's filming, so that's why you only see the subject on one side of the gate and then the opposite side of the gate, and he's blocked by the posts on either side of the gate.
So as you can see, the biggest problem with this footage is the technology that was used back in 2006. This particular camera did not record a constant video. It was designed to record about every 2 seconds or so. The most unlucky part of all this is that the person's face is blocked by the fence every time the camera captures him. The chances of this happening the way it did seem so small, but sadly, it is what happened, and without being able to see a clear image of this person's face, the police were left with little to work with. For many, this is the most frustrating aspect of this entire case, as this person was caught dead to rights on camera, and if things had worked out just slightly different, then maybe, just maybe, Jennifer Kesse could have been found. Police continued to follow leads and pursue every avenue that they could think of, but soon, days turned to weeks, and weeks turned to months, and the hope of finding Jennifer Kesse alive slowly faded away. During that time, the video footage was analyzed meticulously by the police and FBI, and the only thing they could determine was that this person was roughly 5'3" to 5'5" inches tall. They also believed, based on the way the person walked, that this was a man. Now, most involved in this case believe that Jennifer was abducted leaving her condo in the morning. A lot of work was being done around the complex at the time Jennifer disappeared, and a lot of the workers were undocumented. To add to the frustration of this case, many of those undocumented workers had begun living within the vacant condos. The complex did not keep records on the workers that were staying within the condos, which made it almost impossible to track down anyone after Jennifer disappeared. It was also reported by Jennifer's family that on several occasions, construction workers constantly catcalled, whistled at, and harassed her. Years after Jennifer went missing, some other residents that lived in the condos would finally be brought in for some questioning, with many sharing how uncomfortable they were with all the workers living there on site. One woman even described how she would come home and find her underwear drawer ransacked. She truly believed that some of the workers would enter her condo when she was not home. The theory that one of these workers abducted Jennifer would remain strong over the years, but police were seemingly no closer to finding where Jennifer was or who had taken her away. Soon, an entire decade would pass. For the Kesse family, the nightmare of trying to find their daughter was never given up on. In 2018, with little current work being done on Jennifer's case, the Kesse family made the decision to sue the Orlando Police Department. The family wanted access to their daughter's entire case file, and surprisingly, in 2019, a settlement would be reached, and over 16,000 pages of records were subsequently handed over to the Kesse family. These documents would be analyzed by their private investigator numerous times over. Now, here in 2025, answers are still yet to be had. The private investigator for the Kesse family does have a theory, though. He believes that Jennifer walked out her front door that morning and was blindsided. He believes that she may have been attacked and abducted right then and there. See, there were a handful of workers living and working in the condo across the hall from Jennifer. These individuals, as far as we know, have never been identified. There was also no record kept of them working or living there. With no records, their identities are only known to the very few that worked amongst them back in 2006. Is it possible that Jennifer was abducted and taken into a different condo? I'd say anything is possible in this case. They could have abducted her, taken her into the condo across the way, and dumped her body shortly after. Then one of the workers could have calmly taken her car, driven it up the road, and left it there to steer the case in a different direction. There is also a possibility that Jennifer was abducted as she walked to her car, or before she even got into her car. Perhaps she was grabbed and dragged into a worker's van. As you can see, there's just a lot of possibilities in this case. Sadly, the person that dumped Jennifer's car was smart, as they seemingly wiped down the steering wheel and did a good job of leaving no fingerprints or trace of themselves behind in the car. In the end, this case is a tough one, as there's enough evidence to point to foul play, but that evidence falls just short of telling us who the suspect is. Now, I'd love to hear what each and every one of you think. What do you think happened to Jennifer Kesse? Also, if you or anyone you know has any information about this case, please reach out to the Orlando Police Department or reach out to the Find Jennifer Kesse Facebook page. It has now been 19 years since Jennifer went missing. Her family deserves answers, and it's going to take someone finally speaking up for those answers to be found. As always, my deepest condolences go out to all of Jennifer Kesse's family and friends. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoy the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel continue to grow. It's also very important that you hit the notification bell and turn on notifications, as you may not be alerted of my uploads if you don't do so. In the description box below, you'll find a link to my merch store and a link to the Cellar Dwellers membership tier for the channel. If you're interested, please take a moment to go check those things out. And as always, I do all the research, writing, recording, and editing for the channel myself, so anything that you do to help support this channel is greatly appreciated. And until next time, I will see you all again as we head back into the cellar.